Hey, it's Zubu. Today we're playing a game called The Nanny. It's developed by Manx Creations, and you can find the game on itch.io. Basically, what the game is about is a 7-year-old is left with a strange nanny. And as the days unfold, really strange and eerie events start to happen until we eventually, I guess, discover what the origin of these paranormal events are. And also, the protagonist is named Clint, who's supposed to be investigating the disappearance of his sister. So, it sounded pretty interesting to me, and I figured we'd check it out. If you're not familiar with my channel, at the end of the video, I will review the game and share my general thoughts on it. So if that interests you, stick around. I'd appreciate it. Sorry, I have something in my vision here. Okay, I can see now. I guess we're going to go ahead and hit play and see what's up, though. Here we go. Play game. Very odd main menu that was going on there. Look for your parents. Okay, this is some strange art. Huh. Really weird. Pretty loud. The footsteps, that is. Sorry. Oh. Hi, Clint. Dad and I went out for an important matter, and we'll be gone for a couple of days. The nanny I called a few days ago will take care of you. She should arrive around 11, so make sure you open the door for her when she arrives. Remember, show her respect, and above all, don't make fun of her face. She had surgery a few weeks ago. Take care, son, from Mom and Dad with love. You don't even tell them in person? You just leave a note to a child? That can't be right. So we are Clint. Okay, so our sister is missing. That's what... Wait, what? I'm confused. Okay, I started the game over because nothing happens. I can't explain it. Let's read this again. Make sure I didn't miss anything. So, Mom and Dad went out for important matters. Called a nanny. They will take care of us. She should arrive around 11. So make sure you open the door for her when she arrives. Remember, show her respect, and above all, don't make fun of her. Take care from Mom and Dad. Okay. Open the door for her when she... Oh, now the doorbell rings. Okay, that was definitely bugged before. I did not get that prompt. This did not happen. Hey there. You're supposed to be Clint, right? Your parents won't be here for... Hey there. You're supposed to be Clint. Bro. Bro, you can't do the text that slow, and then... Okay. Sheesh. Nanny, can you tell me a bedtime story? Otherwise, I can't sleep. Don't be silly. You're already 7. You're old enough to sleep without a bedtime story. Now go to sleep. Okay, go to sleep. Hello? I feel like I'm hearing something. All right. Hey, what you doing? My ears. What was it? A nightmare? I needed that bedtime story. Oh, a lantern. That's random. Okay. Need to find the nanny. Talk to her. Can't wait. Oh, she's not. Oh, here she is. Nanny, 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 wake up. Huh? What's up? Last night, I had a bad nightmare, and I'm very scared. Now, can you tell me a story? Bro, the speed of this text is killing me. Sorry, I have something in my eye. It's late, and we have to eat in a little while. So go to the basement and get fish from the freezer. Then, you'll forget about everything. Okay? That is a way to sleep, ain't it? Go to the basement and get some fish from the freezer. Where the heck is the basement? Let me guess, we need a lantern. The dark in the basement? Nope, who cares? Ah, here we go. Okay. It's too dark. I can't see anything. I'll go to my room and get the lantern. All right. Oh, okay, we got the lantern. Sick. Why not just have it hanging here on the wall or something? Like, it's too dark. Grab the lantern. Okay, the door's in the way. Sick. All right, it is incredibly dark down here. This lantern would be giving off more light than this. Not much, but a little bit. I like it in movies and stuff when someone has a lantern and there's something in front of them they can't see and they hold the lantern up in front of their face and like reach it out in front of them. But then it's like, now you just have the light in your eyes rather than whatever. I always find that really funny when they do that. I feel like I'm the only person that's like, I don't think lanterns work that way. When you, hey, that was pretty creative. That's cool. Fish collected. Sick. I'm just in a mood today. But yeah, I'm like, I don't know if putting the lantern further up into your face helps you see what's beyond the lantern in the dark. Obviously, the lantern can illuminate things in the dark, but now you just have more light in your eyes. I don't know. What do I know? Maybe it's just a weird rant that I'm on right now. Sit down. I need to talk to you. You know, in this house, there is a story that they have never told you. Tell me the story. Your sister, she didn't just disappear. You know. What do you mean? Uh-oh, noise is overlapping. Text noise. Stay here. Don't move. Where'd she go? Am I literally gonna have to listen to that for the rest of the game? Okay. Oof. And he just disappeared. She's just right here. Phew, she's gone. Like the wind. Sister, are you alive? She looks like a doll. Like she's not even real. Ah, my ears. Oh my gosh, dude. Talk to the nanny. You knew everything from the beginning. And you're making fun of me. You're a fake. I hate you. How dare you? You're rude, and I'll lock you in the basement. As punishment. Oh no, not the dark, scary basement. That's no longer dark and scary. Find a way out of the basement. I would be surprised if there's more than one way out of here. But maybe there is. Oh, look, a note. Dearest family, I am writing this letter because I love you so much. Every day with you has been special. I like it when Mommy tells me stories, and when Daddy picks me up to kiss me goodnight. Even when I play with my little brother. He always makes me laugh when I try to teach him how to do things. I put my little brother's toy car next to this letter, the one he likes so much. I hope that when he sees it, he will remember how much I liked playing with him and how many laughs we had together. I am not afraid, even if I feel a little tired. I promise that I will always be in your hearts, even if I am no longer here. I love the stars so much, and I hope that when you look at the sky, you will think of me and see me smiling among all those lights. I love you so much, and I ask you to never forget me. With so much love, your little one. What is this implying? That they committed seppuku, or key collected for what, the door? Okay, that was easy. I look for the nanny. Well, okay. She in a ritual room? No. Hey, boy. You look confused. Are you looking for your nanny? Come into my house, and we'll talk. No. I would rather not. I got the hiccups. Can I just not do that? Why is my room red now? What's going on? Redeveloping photos? In my red dark room? Whatever. Never mind. Alright, well, kids, don't trust strangers. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. But we have to play the game and do it this way, I guess. Oh, that's not scary. You said earlier if I was looking for my nanny. Do you know where she went? You said earlier if... Wait, what? My boy, you know little about that woman. One day, she is your friend. The next day, your worst enemy. I don't understand. What do you mean? Pretty straightforward. You'll find out. Now go to your room and go to sleep as if nothing happened. Okay. Go to sleep. This is his house? A room with the couch? What is happening? Yikes. Okay. I don't know if the background is supposed to be flickering like that. Did you have a real dream again? You know, it's useless to try to create a life. Ours ended a long time ago. Wow, you're such a meanie. Alright, well the game is over now. I'm back on the main menu, where now I will review the game. Just so you know, everything in my reviews are my opinion. Anyways, visually, I think the game is okay. I don't think it's all that well done, personally. I don't necessarily enjoy the art style or art direction. I just don't think visually the game necessarily stands out in any way for me. I mean, it looks okay, but I'm just saying I think it could look maybe a little bit better, especially the lighting. The way the lighting in the game works is really off, in my opinion. Yeah, just overall visual presentation I don't think was very strong. I think the quick jump scares from the monster thing, whatever that was, the monster, even though we barely saw it, looked kind of scary. I thought that was pretty cool. Now, the lighting in the basement, you know, was pretty cool with the lantern. I still think the lantern could have been maybe just a little bit better, but obviously if that's what you're going for in terms of the environment in the basement, you want it to be that way. I totally understand it. I just think there was sort of a disconnect there from some of the lighting in the game to the overall experience, and I just think that can be improved upon. Aside from that, the visual presentation of the house itself and how their guy has a house just with a room and a couch, all that visual presentation level design wise is really strange to me, and I think rather inconsistent. But yeah, I don't really have much else to say about visuals. I can't, there's nothing really I can explain more than I just think it just needs more work personally. Like obviously, you know, the house that we're in, apartment or whatever we're in, is functional. Like we have a room, there's a living room, then there's the weird room we find her doing some kind of ritual. Like all that is functional. I'm not saying it's like the worst thing ever. I just think for some reason, just the overall visual clarity and the lighting and the overall visual art direction just doesn't really, I think, mesh well to me personally. I don't know really how to explain that, but I'm just going to leave it there. I think visuals are just okay. Now, in terms of audio, the audio of the game, I think, is quite lacking as well. There's not really a lot of ambient tones or music or atmospheric tones or anything to really set the tone of the game. Obviously, we have this weird sort of music box, you know, sort of thing going on here on the main menu, which I think is okay, actually. I think it's interesting, and this slightly sets the tone. It has this sense of innocence about it, but music boxes can also kind of have this strange sort of, I don't even know the word, like nostalgic creepiness about them, if that makes sense. So it is strange to hear this music on the main menu, but in the game itself, audio really doesn't stand out to me. There's just nothing really that grabs my attention. Obviously, the jump scares are just really freaking loud, like just ear-piercingly loud. I just would have done that differently. Jump scares don't need to be so loud. They need to just be timed well. I think timing is really important just in general when it comes to pacing scares. If you're going to use something like jump scares or suddenness, catch players off guard, you need to time it really, really well. You also don't need to break their eardrums in the process. It doesn't even need to really make noise. You could just have someone peek around the corner at you when you don't expect it, and then, you know, that's effective. So the super loud screeching jump scares, I think, just aren't necessary personally. I think I would tone that down just a little bit. My headphones aren't even like that loud today. That was extremely loud, so it's a little bit more unpleasant than it was scary. I mean, you're not going to really catch me with a jump scare anyways, unless I'm just slacking. But today, I'm not slacking on that. So anyways, I'm just goofing around. Ironically, this game has a few pet peeves of mine. The loud, weird, clompy footsteps I find to be strange. I don't really understand why they're so loud. I don't like the ear-piercingly loud jump scares. I just don't think they're creative. I think it's just noise isn't really the point of jump scares, in my opinion. So I would work on that. Like I said, it's all about timing. And also the weird text noise. When the text is appearing on screen, it's just too much noise. And then at one point, the game started like looping the text noise over itself, and it was almost like creating like some weird feedback loop, and it was just really strange. You don't really need that much noise when it comes to text appearing on screen. I don't mind a little bit of a hint of a sound. You know, it's almost akin to like typewriting, you know, or typing on a keyboard. There is always sort of a noise associated with us typing, and you know, I think it's congruent with there being noise for text in games for the most part. I don't think it necessarily is a bad thing. I just think it needs to be done a little bit better. Also, you need to speed up that text, dude. Like I'm gonna get more into that in a minute, but it's way too slow coming up on screen. But anyways, I'm talking about audio right now. I'm kind of going on a tangent. I'm not trying to, but sound design in this game does not complement the game. I think it needs work. It needs to be refined. It needs to be a little bit more complementary to the tone of the game and just the overall presentation of the sound design could use some work. So do your best to refine that, and I think you'll do just fine. On the mechanics, there's not much going on in this game in terms of mechanics. It's sort of just one of those you just kind of look around until something happens. There are objectives, which I don't mind. You read a note, you let the nanny in, and then she tells you to go to sleep, and then you have a nightmare, supposedly, and then you wake up, you talk to her again, and then you like go get some fish, and then you talk to the weird neighbor. But from what we experienced in the game, there's not a whole lot going on in terms of gameplay. It is very on rails. I just don't think the game mechanically was all that interesting to me personally. It's a difficult thing to figure out how to do objectives without them feeling like a checklist. I don't know really how to explain that personally, but at least at the moment. So obviously it's like go to sleep, so we go to sleep. I think if we were to go to sleep and then when we wake up, we had a little bit more room and a little bit more freedom to explore or to interact with the environment. Something of that nature, maybe different set pieces involved. Maybe have a nightmare sequence where we actually, you know, like traverse a nightmare and try to escape, or I don't know, it just felt very on rails and very simplistic mechanically, and I don't know, I just don't think it was all that well done. But, you know, I still had fun with it, but I just think it's missing something. Story and concept. Story and concept in this game are rather vague. I actually don't mind the story all that much. I actually quite like the idea of having this bizarre nanny coming into your life all of a sudden. Your parents just happen to just up and leave before you even woke up. You're 7 years old, and they're going to leave you a note that they're gone, and you have to wait for a nanny to show up. You never met her before. That's crazy. What kind of parents are these? Apparently our sister's been missing, maybe since we were a child, which we are a child, but maybe earlier in our life she went missing. I don't really know the context of when she went missing, or maybe she died, and we just don't quite know how to process that at our age, which is also an interesting concept. So story-wise, I think the game actually has a lot of potential and is really intriguing to me. I don't know if it was executed very well, personally. I like the vagueness of the nanny being just sort of strange and disfigured for some reason. I don't know if it's implying that she's not human, and that's not saying that people who are disfigured are not human. That is saying that she may have persuaded us that it was some sort of surgery, but she could be maybe not human, is what I'm saying. So I think the idea of that looming around is strange, especially being a child character. They also don't know how to necessarily process people looking different than them, and that might make the nanny scarier than she really is. So it could be sort of this like adolescent sort of misunderstanding of events in life, and that is also kind of scary when you think about it. Being a kid and being just so unaware of reality as much as other people are, you haven't matured, you haven't quite learned enough about people looking different than you and whatnot. So I think it's easy for a child to become very scared by things like this. Of course, fear of the unknown is one of our greatest fears as a species. So anyways, I just wanted to point that out, that, you know, I like all of that stuff about this game. Like, it's sort of like a double meaning in a way. Like, it could just be that the nanny is a creepy ritualist woman with some kind of monster thing in the basement or whatever, but that follows her around or something like that, or maybe she is that monster. Or the fact that it could just be a child, you know, going through this weird moment in their life where they're trying to understand more about life and what's going on around them, and they're having a really hard time processing that, like their sister going missing or dying or whatever. So really interesting stuff, story and concept-wise. I thought it was actually really interesting. I think it could be executed a little bit better, especially just the random man just appearing and being like, hey, the nanny's bad or whatever. Anyways, go back home. I don't know. I just thought that was really strange, but definitely pretty good stuff on story and concept. But like I said, I would probably try to execute it a little bit better. Not saying you need to explain everything, but it was just a little too vague. I don't think it necessarily had the payoff that I would have liked at the end of the game, but that's just me. On to performance. The game performance is kind of inconsistent. I'm not sure if this flickering line on the main menu is supposed to be appearing, and it does this when I adjust the settings or whatever, no matter what. So, but also I would suggest possibly trying to have VSync in the game, even though you do have, I'll show the settings. You do have resolution, and this is reset back to default since coming back to the main menu. So you can do full screen and windowed graphics. You can change all this stuff here, but VSync I think is still important, because even if I put a frame limit here, there was pretty major screen tearing in the game, or some kind of graphical glitch of some kind that looked like screen tearing. It was really strange, so I'm not sure how you want to fix that or how you do that, but I would work on that a little bit. The game performed fine. I just think there was also some issues. There was the bug at the beginning of the game where I read the note and then it wouldn't progress and have the nanny ring the doorbell and so we can let her in. So I'd restart the game, or at least come back to the main menu and start again, and then it worked. The only real issue I've had other than that was when the text noise started looping. I don't really understand why it started doing that. It got kind of annoying, but thankfully it fixed itself when it transitioned to the next scene. So just wanted to point that out. Nothing like egregious, but I still think you could fine-tune the performance just a little bit, and also, you know, try to, you know, weed out those bugs. Well, I hope I didn't go on a tangent too much today. I try not to do that on my reviews where I just kind of go after the game, but today is just one of those days. Bottom line is I'm just going to be honest about the games I play. And like I said, these are just my personal opinions. Anyways, my final judgment for the Nanny is I would say it needs some work. While I enjoy the overall concept and the story of the game, I think just everything else about the game just isn't quite hitting the mark for me personally. And I think it could be fine-tuned and expanded upon, and it just needs a little bit more work. I think the art direction and the overall fidelity of the game needs to have a little bit more of a direction and what you want it to look like and how you want it to be presented visually. Audio needs probably the most work personally. I think it's rather inconsistent and doesn't necessarily help the game in any way whatsoever. I would fine-tune that as well. Mechanically, the game is a bit too on rails and not very rewarding. It doesn't feel like any of the progress necessarily matters all that much, especially at the end of the game being so abrupt. Performance, obviously you need to fine-tune that just a little bit. Nothing too intense there, but yeah, it needs a little bit of work there as well. Don't let my review upset you in any way or get you down. This is for your benefit. I hope that's what my channel is primarily for in my reviews, is I actually want to help people with my reviews, not just belittle them or be mean or make fun of you. I'm not doing any of that. I just want to clarify that. I do wish you the best of luck on your future endeavors and your work. Take it a day at a time. Don't rush yourself. Don't overthink it. Just the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. You don't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the best thing ever that you make the first time. It might take you 10 times, 20 times to make, exactly what you want to make or make the best game you can make. Hell, it might take longer than that. You never know. But it doesn't really matter how long it takes. The more you do it, the better you'll get at it. The more you'll learn. The more you'll learn about yourself. The more you'll connect with people and they'll get to see your art and your work. So just hang in there. And like I said, don't let reviews or any negative comments get you down. Take it as a learning experience, and I think you'll do just fine. So best of luck to you. Anyways, tell me what you think in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree with me? Do you have anything to add? Do you just want to say hi? Just let me know what's up. Don't forget to check the pinned comment below for the links to everything. Go play this game for yourself and form your own opinion. Tell the developer what you think about it. I'm sure they'd really appreciate your feedback as well as mine. And if you enjoy my content and want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe, leave a like, comment, share the video, do all that. I'd greatly appreciate your support. And thanks for watching my video. I hope you have a wonderful day. And I think that's all I have to say about it. So thanks for hanging out with me. And don't forget, the pale moth is always watching.